picked by uh, by 2Savage. You might see some kind of pattern here that Sen might be playing the killers. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's just some of the killers he's been performing the best on and getting the best clips on. As we say that, we actually get a nice first chase here. Immediately on the No Mother Survivor. So perhaps the survivor you want to chase in Sen's eyes, perhaps it's not. But he's not finding anyone else. Attempts a curve, but the survivor's W keyed away. So I think it's a decent. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, it's a decent start here, but Sen is just you know, doing his thing and being the goat as usual. And I believe he's gonna leave actually and find a new survivor. So considering this is the For the People survivor, I think this is a much better chase to take here, but I'm not sure if our Billy does know that.
Yeah, I feel like our Billy might be seeing this and thinking it is Deli, but I don't know if you spotted it, Tavi. Our DH No Mither Survivor also has Deli. Now, I think this is a very interesting meta game play that I actually quite love. Becky just losing the 50, nearly dodging that with the crouch, but is going down. Also, going back to builds for a second, FTP on the Billy, I feel like it is a bit of an unnecessary perk, but it obviously still can get value. So interesting to see 2Savage have opted to bring it, but it will be on the hook, so it will not be able to get used to prevent the tunnel out onto Becky. Although Sen is here quite close by on this bus 12, just able to get the unhook very quickly, if not found out. But Hermes here is aware he does find his scratch marks, and Sen is spotted on the 11 side of the map. Now we also I've just noticed something in the builds, Tavi, yet again. Our killer, Hermes, has Devour. Now, this is a very popular pick in EU, but we don't see it very much in OCE, so I will be curious to see how much value this perk is going to get. It will incline, as Hermes does get his second down all the way on Canna at 11, that if we do get these unhooks, we don't really need to protect the hooks in general. We let these unhooks come through and just get those stacks of Devour building up. We will be getting one very, very shortly, as in the background, Baki is unhooked by Nu, and Sen is still over on the crane at 9. Tavi, what do you think? What do you think of Devour? This is definitely interesting.
My personal opinions on Devour are a bit mixed. Against a team as experienced as 2Savage, I know that totems can be a lot easier to find. We do see Nu taking chase here, and he actually wins 50, gets the nice crouch inside. Hermes wasn't expecting that, so very nice from Nu. He's gonna prolong this chase, and Hermes is gonna commit, so perhaps some resets coming in. And you can see right there, as I was saying, the totems are much more exposed here. Canalave immediately working on one, so again, I'm not entirely sure of Devour, because it's been also banned quite a lot in OC leagues quite recently, but now it's open. I guess we'll see how Hermes takes this. He's got 2 hooks already, so we'll get a 5% haste for like 10 seconds, some decent amount of extra speed there, but that's not really the reason why Devour's brought, you know, it's for the finality of the Mori on the 5 stacks, but again, considering that totem's gone, I think it's ruined, because that totem's not lit up, and the unhook also came in, so Devour's also gone. So no, yeah, now both totems are gone. We won't see a Devour game, but yeah, we got 3 hooks forward, so it's not that bad. Unfortunately, we don't have the tunnel out yet, but you know, it's still good going for the kill.
Yeah, Tavi, we also do just now seeing Devour get cleansed in the background. I want to point out, Devour was not cleansed, and the reason it did not go to a 3rd stack there was because of the Deliverance. Sen was Deli and did unhook himself, meaning that a Devour stack was not applied for his unhook, which is very interesting to see, and unfortunately did mean that we did not see a lot of Devour value in this game. So we will just have to take these chases now with only 2 perks in hand, working around BAM and Eruption. This will be problematic as the game does continue, but 3 stages on the board, I would like to point out, with a 4th. Oh, never mind. Sen hitting a lovely dead hard, able to make Shaq off of that. We might even just be opting to leave the chase after that. We are not. We will continue the chase onto Sen at Shaq, which could work out in his favor here, right? We do kind of need to get a tunnel out going. This is the Dead Hard Survivor, which is problematic for the Billy, but it is used. We don't have a lot in hand, just the pallet, as Sen does get the wonderful stun here. And I think now will be the... No, once again, we're just opting to commit the chase. Going to zone him back towards Shaq. No pallet available, just the window to work with. We will zone... we will leave after the pallet break, and we do catch, I believe this is Baki on the gen. He will take the M1 for free onto the tile at 6. as Baki will have to play towards Shaq as well. Overdrive in hand, able to close that distance even quicker. A down potentially coming in very shortly as these resources have been depleted because of Sen's previous chase. Debaki just opting to die corner now, but Tavi in the background, we do see another generator procking with a second on the way. We are definitely at a bit of an even position right now. I do feel like this killer is expected to get around the 7 to 9 stages. It's a very common sentiment for what we see with a lot of these sets in OSL. Billy being an S tier, but it is definitely still expected to get out on Blood Lodge. So I guess now is, are we expecting 2Savage, as crazy as it sounds, to make a mistake and give Hermes a position to get that 4K?
Are we expecting that? Chief, the answer is no, but very rarely it does happen, and it happens at what seems to be fairly crucial moments sometimes, which might give the set over. You know, sometimes you can make a mistake as a team, and it might not affect the result too much. It might be like a couple of, you know, stages here and there, but, you know, I mean, with Sen going down here, I think this is very calculated, not a mistake coming through, and for now, we're still looking at relatively no mistakes coming in. By the way, again, another notice from me, Sen does have the decisive strike, so another reason for him to take the aggression of Baki there. So another gen gets popped. We're left with 2 remaining in the trial, and it does seem like the gens are fairly split. But you know Billy, so he can just get into a gen in like 2 seconds, you know, that kind of overdrive things. And Sen's gonna also opt to take the hit, but oh no, Sen makes a mistake, and that's the mistakes I'm talking about. Not Baki, Chief.
Chief, yes. That mistake could prove to be crucial, but Baki has managed to crawl under that pallet. We're not going to be able to get the pick as Sen is still lingering around this chase. If he is down, the DS is in hand. The crouch tech to avoid the down as well, forcing the locker. He's going to go back for Baki. He knows that this is DS. He might be able to get that in time. No, he does bait Sen back in. Sen might just force the locker again. He doesn't have a lot to work with. He will. We can't be taking that as we know DS is still in hand, but we aren't able to pick Baki either. The threat of both survivors. The down does come through, so Baki will be dying on hook. Nu and Kana are not close enough, surely. Oh no, my word, Nu is also here, but he's been spotted out. Oh my god, Tavi, this is problems. This down here would be... Oh my word. Okay, we do know. Oh no, and Kana is the unbreak survivor. We have no anti-slug. If we just go to this jet, we're gonna take the hook. We're playing it a bit safe. I feel like that is definitely a play that is worth taking. We do have 2 survivors on the ground. We are getting the hook. Sen is up with No Mither. I didn't even account for that. I completely forgot about No Mither. Oh my word, he's gonna be able to get the pick onto Nu as well. No, he's not, because he's just on the hook. We're not gonna get the pick onto Nu, but we're picking... Okay. I feel like we could have left Nu slugged. We definitely needed to go check this gen at one point in time. I feel like Hermes just hasn't recognized that this gen has been being worked over all the way at 11 by Kana the entirety of the time these shenanigans have been going on. But if he is able to catch, and Sen is obviously just here baiting, potentially trying to get the unhook, this gen will pop any second now. It is 99 to bait the killer all the way here. But the best case scenario right now is for Kana to be committed. If Kana is downed, it would be as potentially as many stages as possible for the killer. The problem will be now is if he's able to get this down very quickly, and the titanium pallet denying him. Tavi, this has definitely allowed our survivors to be able to get out from this position now. There was a potential for a 4K if Kana was to go down immediately. Another lovely crouch check just buying this chase a few more seconds, and Sen is here to die for him. But do we take this is the question. We do indeed, Tavi. I believe this will just be, I think it is 8 stage 4 fresh.
Yeah, it looks like 2Savage have extorted that extra stage out the door. When I believe it was Nu, when they were on hook and Sen was baiting on the hill, you just saw, that was a 9-stage result if Nu just died there. And then instead what happened is Sen got the unhook generator. Sure, I guess there's a generator regressing on the hook. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit tough now. I'm thinking
It's a really
about it
tough call to make, Tavi,
Yeah.
I think. Which, to be fair, I think you might be right. I think taking neither hook might have been a bit too greedy, but I think getting just at least the hook onto Baki and maybe sending it for the gen could have played into that 4K, having the 3v1, even if Nu and Sen were able to both pick themselves up with the No Mither, and then obviously Sen getting the pickup. It was still outable from that position, although I feel like, well, it's like I said, a really tough call for Hermes to make in the moment. But we will never know. An 8-stage 4 fresh result against a team like 2Savage is nothing to scoff at, as we do load into the reverse fixture with Sen on the killer. Now, Tavi, this man is Mr. OCE himself. He is the most decorated killer player currently playing in OSL. Sorry, Australian killer player playing in OSL. Obviously, we do have the likes of, and immediately he's also found 2 survivors stealthing 9. I want to point out, but do we think he's gonna beat this?
Ooh. I mean, again, that's a tough question, but I feel like when we were talking about 2Savage mistakes coming in before, I've kind of noticed them slightly occur more often on the survivor side. So I think Sen, like, okay, very clean cooldown coming in from Sen here onto Nyx, but yeah, if he does make a few mistakes here and there on the killer, um, 8 stage being out of reach is still probably not a huge deal. Remember that these survivors are on ping, so Sen does have a pretty substantial advantage in chase, or rather the survivors have a disadvantage. And we can see here that Sen's already been able to rotate halfway across the map and potentially catch someone out. But no, I mean, it's he leaves and he finds a survivor. Okay, I completely lied, and this is a tile which is theoretically unsafe. Sen does go for amazing, amazing chainsaw there. I didn't even know that was possible. I thought,
Yeah,
I
it's the
thought
curve
it
on
was
the
safe.
Sin car. Because of the fact that you slide off of it, he was able to bend the whole way around it. I mean, that is just incredible. If you're a Billy player, I mean, I don't even play Billy, and that's like something I want to hit right. I imagine myself playing Billy and getting one of those clips on Sin Car. That is a moment worth to remember for Sen, but definitely one that he's just added to the arsenal. Probably not that big of a deal to him. But once again, we're going chase to chase. He's found Lorraine at Shack again. He might know this is tunnel out bond from the fact that this is an injured survivor. We do see Revolution getting unhooked in the background as well. We can commit this. We are free to commit this. This is one of the most progressed generators. There's not a lot of progress anywhere else. We do know Survivor just had to rotate for the unhook, and getting it down here would be, oh my word, Sen is adding to the highlight reel already. This game might just be one in itself, Tavi. 2 generators here have very high progress. Death Hook Survivor will be hooked in the middle of them. We don't have a lot of pressure anywhere else. Revolution and 13 are working. Jen's probably on the top side of the map. Maya will, I'm assuming as the Delhi player, be rotating down for this unhook, but... Oh no, we're sitting main, and they're FTP. Where is our Delhi player? Oh, our Delhi player is all the way at 11. That makes sense as well. He's just gotten his Delhi up. He's able to play that little bit aggressive on the gens, bait chase a bit, because the unhook will be obviously not something you need to rotate for. And Sen is opting to commit this chase. You know, he's recognized that at his win condition with the gens all up still in the trial, he can just commit these fresh hooks already, get these downs, and just play chase to chase and potentially meet the win con. Still unable to get that curve around the jungle gym without the pallet, but I won't assume we'll be lasting too much longer. We are not on the side of 13, but Lorraine is unhooked in the background, and because of that, 13 is being slugged. Lorraine in the tough position. Does he stealth? Does he sprint to make a resource? If he's found here on the edge map, which he might just be, if Sen can hear him, he doesn't just yet. He's checking towards 5. No, he's coming back. He might know. He's just spotted him on the Z-wall, Tavi. This is problematic. This down would spell problems. We haven't popped a gen. We're going to have a tunnel out very, very shortly. This will be the tunnel out secured at 4 generators, Tavi.
This survivor has smashed and balanced landing. They were not going to get anywhere from that Z-wall, and tunnel out at 4. From the killer's point of view, you just need to get 1 hook per generator, with still 2 perks left in the trial, that being Bamboozle and Eruption. I would normally say that's completely impossible, but at least the survivors are going to get main done as Sen rotates to 11. We do see the gen is still regressing from Eruption. Faint scratch marks are here too on the bus, but Sen is like, nah, I'm just gonna do Billy things. Just gonna like move across the entire map, and I don't really care. And goes back to main, sees some of the scratch marks, and it's gonna be 13. No, that is not 13. And yeah, Revolution takes the next chase. They look dead, so that's just another stage in the bag for Sen. I think he should be pretty happy about that.
It is indeed another stage that is 5 on the board with 3 generators remaining, only needing 3 more to secure the win. Revolution also on his death hook. having no Miser, I believe he's also the Dead Hard survivor, so technically having a chance to survive, but with the ping involved, I feel like it is quite difficult, and once again, we're just going chase to chase Tavi. We've found Maya bottom mid, having only this pallet to work around, Sen's trying to get a bit flicky, just bumping on the tire, giving Maya the potential to break to the bottom 6 tile, but we've not taken that opportunity, forced to play the pallet once again, if we do see this down come in. Revolution has been unhooked as well, might I add, in the background. Maya crouching the sword, beautiful stuff, exactly what you need. This chase cannot be ending shortly. We need to be able to get something done, but Revolution is here. I don't know if this is the play, Tavi. We've forced our tunnel out back right into the middle of the attention, but we are just going to kick this gen, take the hook onto Maya, I believe now. I don't know. I feel like the send from Revolution there definitely wasn't the play. I know he still has DS in hand, but I mean, having the 2v1 come through, because you can just chase him through DS, and if he doesn't last these 2 generators, or 3 generators even, it's effectively game over. And with Maya now on hook, Revolution having to stealth, Death Hook injured obviously from the No Mither. We know that 13 is 9 and will promptly have his gen checked. He's actually just been spotted out. This could be really, really problematic, Tavi.
Yeah, I think it was problematic as soon as Sen got that early down, because it's just like, again, survivors on ping with the chase. It's just not going to be as effective as if we're not. And that's going to be a slug as well. Maybe Sen realizes the deliverance, but he's going to head back to the mid-map and just check on the survivors. And I mean, okay, goes to Shack, sees probably nothing. Revolution's all the way up at 3 side, going for the rotate, and no, it seems like Sen is off Shack now. Does the spidey senses are not tingling here, and is just gonna again roam the map. And what do the survivors do here in this situation where Billy still has eruption? I think plenty of kicks left on a lot of the generators in the 3v1 as well. Does spot the pickup and does spot the Tangla as well. I don't really know if they can do much. Nyx seems to be going down. This is not Nyx, Revolution seems to be going down, but Sen bumps and there's a main filler to play. So if this is a, what, 3-gen chase, then...
3-gen chase has come to an end quite short. Tavi, this is definitely not what you need to be seeing, but Maya is here to play for the pallet save, just too far away, unable to get that. So Revolution will be joining Lorraine in the heavens, dead at 3 generators. At this point, Tavi, the game is all but secured for Sen and 2Savage. I mean, no surprises there, right? He doesn't even need to chase Maya, who he is most definitely aware of. He can hear her behind that filler, just going to 9 to ensure that that gen isn't going to pop, playing for the best result possible. We do actually catch 13 out at 11. We're kicking the gen just to ensure that we have the eruption on it, can get that regression, just in case 13 is able to pull out something crazy. And we do see Sen having some spins in the background, holding the sword, playing for something a bit crazy, unable to hit it around the jungle gym yet again, but there's no reason to leave this Tavi at this point. The game is definitely won no matter what, but I mean, if he cares about the gen, he will have to leave eventually, but at this point, you know, have the fun. Why don't you, Sen? Oh no, we're leaving. He wants the gen. Okay. Best result more important than the entertainment. I can respect that.
Yeah, some nice pathing there from from 13 on the jungle gym. I would have liked to see the, you know, the short wall outside to in vault, you know, the 2-frame one. Okay, whatever. But I guess it was wisely left, and he's just gonna get the down, and yeah, pretty much secure the win. He's gonna leave though, which means the win is 99% guaranteed, the 1% not guaranteed. And just check around for the Drake. It seems like he's gone though, and Sen will just do his own thing yet again. Yeah, I will say on that jungle gym though. Oh, that's unbreakable actually. Oh, wait a minute.
We have some life breathed back into our lungs, Tavi, but I mean, once again, I don't think it's going to mean all that much. You know, we have to pop 3 generators in a 2v1 with both survivors being injured. There's no time to reset, and even if there was, it's a Billy anyways. He's going to use his chainsaw and get that down no matter what. So yeah, Sen is just having his little march around the map, checking around all the generators, looking for either of the survivors. He could potentially find stealth anywhere at this point. We do know 13 is leading towards over at that 9 side of the map, whilst Maya could be anywhere from 1 to 5 at this point. I'm not too sure myself. But, I mean, finding a survivor here, as much as you want to dream that they could pull something off, won't mean... I mean, sorry, it will mean the inevitable end of the game, and it will come through one way or another at this point.
Yeah. 4K3 presumably is a very strong result on any killer. On a Billy, I think that is testament towards the Billy just having really good mechanics and overall game sense. So I wonder what that could be saying about Sen. No, but regardless, yeah, 4K3, extremely impressive result. Sen's gonna find a Jake here and just take the chase. He does have bamboozle, so again, I don't expect this chase to be that long, but the God Palace still up. So let's commentate this 1v1. We're 5 seconds in. Sen misses the Shack Palace is unfortunate. And Overdrive's going to tick down to around 60%. Does Sen leave this? No, he's going to keep on going. 15 seconds. And the Jake is going edge map. I think he's dead because there's no Paladin here. So it's going to be 30 seconds, which is still better than what I've seen a lot of the 1v1 Billies. But nice.
Opa. Shots fired from Tavi there. We do get the eruption proc onto Maya at 12. We do know where she is. She has been spotted out. If we get that cross map, well, that would have been Cinnabot. We just don't. Maya's going to have to play the short side of this pallet. Sen's getting a bit flicky here, hitting the rock. Unlucky. But, you know, Maya's just going to play once again the final chase out for a bit of fun. I feel like that's all we can do from this point. There's no way she's getting the pick. Sen has lost eyes on Maya. She's just managed to G all the way to 1 on this jungle gym. Sorry, this is a Match 6 tile, and the crouch coming through. My word, just eating the dumpster there, so we will be seeing it down. But Sen really wants this clip here, as I lost sight of the stream there for a second. I don't know what just happened, but the down does come through. Maya on the ground, Lorraine as well. That will be the 4K3 secured. Tavi, amazing stuff from Sen. Not too surprised, right? It is at the end of the day, Sen. His chase potential is always at the best of the best. So him getting the quick down at the very start of the game was definitely a bad omen for what was to come. And a lot of the chases were just more of that. You know, there wasn't really a chase that was impactful, that was able to last. By the time we had made it to the 3v1, the game was all but secured as a win for Sen. And that is when the chases started improving. But like I said, kind of for nothing.
Yeah. At that point, I think the mistakes just didn't matter, as just reinforcing what I was saying. So yeah, 4K3. As I said, yeah, I'm still looking at average of 4K1. I'm not going to change my opinion for a while, Chief.
I agree, Tavi. I am on record saying that in Division 2, I believe that Suffer 1 Blight was out, and I do stand by that. But with the slightly weaker serve balancing that we do have in Div 1, I do believe that this is more inclined to be that 4K1, but we do see a DC immediately on the side of Maya. So I think there may be some ping issues. We will get some confirmation from our referees very shortly, but the lobby has all DC'd now, so I can only assume that it was probably a ping issue. Oh, actually, no, sorry, it is not ping. I have just caught it. There was only 3 offerings brought in, so there is going to be a minor penalty to one of the teams, most likely on the side of Nyx. I'm not too sure who actually did bring the wrong offering, or not an offering actually, but it was Nyx. So Nyx will be receiving a minus 0.5 penalty. That is definitely not what you want to be seeing to start off this set. That is honestly a little heartbreaking, because if they were going to take a set, although they didn't pick it, they did end up picking Billy. Surprising to me, because I had not seen them ever play Billy before tonight. But if there was a set that I believe they could take, it was going to be this one on a whim still. But yeah, that minus 0.5 is very, very upsetting to see, Tavi.
Yeah, it's just they're just very what do you call it? Very not straightforward, just like very not even careless. Um, just I don't know, just forgetful. I don't really want to bring the mood down that much. But yeah, I think after seeing Hermes's Billy, I was actually pretty impressed. Like he's got some good mechanics. Did get some good downs. I kind of forgetting the match a bit, but yeah, I'll be honest, I was not thinking they would have any kind of advantage on Blight. So with this 0.5, which we've already established, hopefully they don't do it again, and we can also just start the match hopefully, and yeah, just see the strategies that are going to be employed, because I'm assuming that they won't change builds. They might have. I think the items look the same though, so there's no difference. But yeah, I just want to see what the blights are doing nowadays. I want to see what the survivors are doing nowadays. It does make me sound like a bit of a boomer when I haven't been playing for like 6 months only. But that's how fast the meta changes. Like that's how fast players change. Chief, like even 3 months of inactivity, which is doesn't seem like much. Everything can just flip on its head. So we do load in. I think the builds do really look the same. Sen's also spawned on the same side. Corrupt is also brought in, and the Ruin, I did not actually catch where the Ruin was, Chief, but if I guess it is on the top side, it'll be very good for him.
I believe it is topside Tavi. I also do want to point out the gens are very, very favorable for Sen. He has a oh my god, a very nice 4-gen top. As you can see, it is very tight and very much favoring towards being as deep as possible into that top side of the map. And I think we also do have a bot mid-gen, which is definitely incredible for Sen, as we do take our first down onto Lorraine yet again. A very quick down in both games onto Lorraine. Not the start you want to be having on either set. Probably not been his night overall. I feel like his chases have been a little bit subpar, but at the end of the day, you are playing against Sen. It is hard to maintain chase for the best of players, let alone an academy team that has just come up being forced to play against 2Savage in their very first game. And Sen opting to look around edge map. He knows that the down came around very quickly, assuming that Delhi just hasn't crossed yet, and he would be right, but it is all the way over at 4, not edge 6. If he did find Delhi, though, it would have been massive problems. But in the background, we do see Revolution on his totem all the way deep 11. He spotted out Ruin, and that will be popping very, very shortly. And the gen at 1 is being worked only 50%, and that is all of their progress because of how quick the down came in, meaning the cross was a little delayed. But as you see now, Tavi, Revolution will be in chase on the top side of the map. If a down does come in here, I wouldn't be too surprised if Sen opts to... Oh my word, Revolution has spun Sen.
That's a life moment right there. That's a life moment right there from Revolution, and I'd like to see what Sen does, because with the gens so heavily topside oriented, I think he will just commit a topside chase. Like, I mean, he lost Ruin there, which kind of sucks, but he's seen 2 survivors. Also, 2 survivors are definitely bot side, so if he can just get it down over here, Nancy probably won't have an exhaustion. Considering we've already seen life, so it's not really going to matter. Yeah, down happens right here. Revolution is kind of stuck on this top side, and I think we would have been able to make it out of here. And yeah, we can just see he's just stolting around. And yeah, I guess now the game plan's just shifted towards these top side gens. To sacrifice the start of the game and a bit of pressure on the bot side, convert it into the 4-gen hold on the top side, and everyone except the survivors are happy. So you can see here, Revolution tries to go for the power save. I don't know if the ping will come in time, but it does. He gets the power save, and now maybe Nancy spin burst is back to prolong the next chase. But Revolution's also exposed himself, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Tavi, I mean, look, Sen has spent so long looking around, cautious of that pallet save, only for Revolution to be able to creep closer ever so slowly to be able to get it in the end anyways. And because of that, we will be seeing 2 generators on the bottom side of the map popping. But you did mention that it was a heads-up play from Sen to leave those gens and leave his tunnel out to defend these top side gens, which I also agree with. And I, obviously, despite the fact that the hook took so long to come in, I do feel like was the right play. But because of all of that hesitation, I mean, Unfortunately, now I don't think Revolution is going to be lasting too much longer. That is a death in mid. We do see a survivor very close by on the gen, just trying to pop it. Will not be able to pop. There goes the Weasel onto the generator. Ace just here. This is our previous tunnel out. L'Oreal caught out. Sen able to rush onto the survivor, most likely getting a tag from this position. He doesn't, but he is stuck in the corner. This is a bit of a fun interaction. Finally, Sen gets the tag. And I mean, at this point, it is a bit problematic. Maya has been unhooked in the background and reset by 13. Revolution has picked himself up, most likely with the unbreak. It was indeed, but L'Oreal has been downed and is going to get hooked on the most active generator. So, despite the fact we have spent all of this time protecting the 4 gen, it has honestly allowed us to get this hook bottom mid. And as like, I'm a bit worried now for our survivors, because that gen realistically really needed to pop. Revolution getting found here injured as well, having to play around this pallet potentially. Actually, Sen doesn't even care. Revolution's going to finish this reset onto himself. The hook is going to be bot mid. It's probably going to stay there. They need to let him sit, because a quick tunnel out onto the rail would spell a similar sentiment to the last game, a high 4K. But Revolution doing his damnedest to prevent this death. Vaulting, oh my god, just at the perfect time to force the pallet break, forcing 5 rushes out of Sen. Beautiful stuff from Revolution. He does need to last in this chase, but we do see L'Oreal has been unhooked. We are forcing as well. He might just drop this because he may assume that it is Delhi, but if he does... Actually, no, he should be aware that this is Unbreak. He does know Revolution picked himself up, so he is going to take the hook. It is going to come in on the top side. But now, the gamble, Tavi, will he go check the right gen? And he just doesn't go to 11 at first, so it is going to pop. 4 gen broken, Tavi, but still a very nice 3 gen on the top side of the map. And we do see that gen bot mid finally popping.
Yeah, so our survivors managed to convert this pretty cleanly. From what I thought was a pretty horrible position. Sen also, I guess, takes a second hook on the ace, so that's going to be a potential tunnel out in the future. Mayo goes down too, so although they've broken the 4 gen, they've also kind of given up the hook position that was ideal, like that was away from it. It's a bit of a complicated scenario, because usually I'm just used to seeing Blights, you know, hook the survivor, then tunnel the survivor, then kill the survivor, then you just slug and then win. So there's a bit of a different play style coming in here. Revolution to get down, that's why Chief was making that funny noise. But yeah, Sen's just committing to the tunnel line now, so I guess he's transitioned from one state to another, so well played. Sen's also going for the mind games, typical Blight coming through here, and no DH. Means
no
death.
milliseconds from hitting BT Tavi as well. I don't know if you
Really?
noticed that, but it just went away as the swing came through. That was milliseconds of that was milliseconds splitting that decision. But that does mean Maya is dead. The tag and down onto Revolution, might I add, also a beautiful 2-tap off of that flick, put us in such a bad spot. You know, we were really looking like we could be getting a 4K1. Hell, even outs if we played this perfectly on the side of the survivors from that position. But now, it's really problematic, right? We could be getting 4K2'd. We are chasing 13. This is not a survivor who would be eliminated from the trial if he is down here. So we do have a little bit of life still to give on the side of Nyx. But, I mean, this tag top main, we very quickly lost all of our resources, but we still obviously have the strong resource of main itself. And I mean, Sen has just opted to leave this chase. I think he really does want this 4K2. He believes it's possible. We have this Gen 3, and we may just have spotted out somebody here. I'm not too sure if we did, but Revolution is still close by, and if he is found, a quick down on this Gen would be a bit problematic. I would assume, I believe it is 13 all the way topside, would be stealthing down to be reset, because if he is caught out top now, it would be very problematic. But Revolution has shown himself. We'll have to play chase on this 3 tile, actually just opting to send it away 2-4. We'll be giving a tag, needs to play towards bottom. He is indeed. Getting as far down would be crucial. He does, and because of that, send opts to leave, but L'Oreal is caught out. Now this is problematic, Tavi, because if this survivor is down quickly and is killed, the 2v1 at 2 generators remaining will all but secure the result.
Yeah, and I would just assume that it's a 4K2 from this position. None of the survivors are healthy, so like I don't see how they're going to stealth that well here. Jake's gen is only 50%, so I think Sen's just gonna lock back on to this one, and yeah, try and secure 4K2. Very solid result. I would say significantly above average because remember that like one generator is like infinitely more than one hook. So yeah, it's just gonna secure Nyx as the pretty obvious deli play. But Sen just is gonna hook this. I guess just doesn't want to slug and maybe risk a bleed out, which makes some sense considering it would be a penalty. But I mean, what else are the survivors going to do anyway, as a counter argument as well? So, um, yeah, just no medkit charges left, no self-resetting perks like inner strength is not available on these builds. So I guess we'll see how Nyx tries their best to set this up for a 4K1, but Revolution gonna do nicely on the jungle gym. Not gonna die on ping, so just gonna play the filler outside. Shack, I think is yeah not dropped. I just checked that with my horribly bad vision, and Sen unfortunately misses a bit of a hug techie, going a bit funny, but he just misses very short of that being a down. So he's going to leave as expected, and there's again just not much the survivors can do about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Tavi, at this point, like you said, I feel like the result is all but guaranteed. It would require Sen basically forgetting about the gens he needs to protect to allow one to pop at this point, especially this 1-1. You know, if he is just going to sit here for a few seconds, let it regress, there's not much to be done. If 13 is caught out in a bad position and is found even worse so, and we do find his scratch marks and his blood, Tavi, we are going to go down through this window because of the ping. That is mighty unfortunate. 13 has his gen at 1 being erupted because of that as well. Revolution just forced to rotate bottom. The slug coming in. Sen will spend the time looking, and I won't assume he'll find him. There's no way he's going to assume. He's already pre-sent the hatch, but I mean, that's what Revolution has opted to do. He's already just sitting all the way down at the bottom side of the map, expecting that the pick onto 13 will come in inevitably, and he will just let himself go to get at least something from this state, Tavi.
I guess Zen just gets eruption instead, which is a bit strange. I would usually assume that once going for the slug, that kicking a gen on like 0% makes no sense. But I guess I don't play the game. So let's see. Sen's just checking around the map still. Obviously, now that uh, now that 13 has been hooked, there's no risk of the penalty bleed out happening. And there's still like a potential of a trauma tech at like the last second, I guess, and trying to secure some lose-lose scenario for the killer. But there's still another 2 minutes to go, so Sen, I think, should feel a bit comfortable trying to find the survivor. I don't think he has any idea on where they are. No, just get the direct line of sight onto Revolution. So that, I think, will just be the end of the little cat and mouse game. Revolution doesn't fall for the window mine game. That is nice to see because I've seen a couple of those. I've actually hit one of them before, so it's gonna go down. And yeah, 4K2. I think going to be fairly difficult to come back for Nyx considering that penalty on top of that. So they would need to get a 4K3 on the killer if 2Savage do not get a penalty. But yeah, well played to 2Savage. I think that was a fairly clean game, something which I would not have envisioned actually, considering like, huh? How does Sen have like 5 hook stages and no kills kind of thing? But yeah, yeah, nice bit of transition of pressure and like advantages I think from Sen, and I think the survivors also did fairly well.
Yeah, I agree, Tavi. I do think the decisive moment of this match was Revolution getting 2-tapped at 4. It did honestly secure the result. It was really looking like they could have gotten something out of this game all the way up until that point. So for that to come through, just beautiful mechanics from Sen to be able to get the flick all the way around the L wall. And then obviously not making much of distance off of that either, just getting 2-tapped on edge map is mighty unfortunate on the side of Revolution, but it was the turning point of the game. It did secure the result, and I think Sen is going to be very proud that he's put on another dominant display. And like you said, Tavi, because of that penalty, it is going to be very hard to get a win from this set. Now, do I think that there was a possibility of a tie? No, I think it would have been very unlikely. What we did hint at earlier is, although Sen is obviously an incredible killer player, it is no mean feat to be able to put up a similar result to him against his survivors. We were getting a fair bit of a fashion show from our survivors, so you guys will get to see those fits. I think they look a bit marvelous, Tavi. I don't know about you, but what are we expecting from the match overall other than a nice little fashion show?
Well, I think 2Savage will just do what they do best, which is just have a bit of chill time. I feel like 2Savage, like from what I've just seen, they just really play, um, just like they just synergize really well as a team because they just never feel stressed, and that's just an advantage like pretty much all the time. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I think the fashion show is great too. Usually don't see a lot of survivors playing funny fits. I think okay, three survivors are main though. This is a bit strange, but yeah, usually I don't see like more than one survivor going going all fashion clothing in matches, but seems like I actually can't beat that. Yeah, Sen does get tagged around main, and you're gonna see the wave here coming through, and Crane just gonna check mid. It seems the scratch marks are not going to be too conclusive as Baki takes the next chase. So yeah, nice little Felix fit actually. If Felix is watching this, my goat Felix from I forgot. Yeah, Felix, if you're watching this, rate the fit, please.
Yeah, the fit is marvelous indeed, Tavi, but we do see Ibaki taking his first tag of the trial with Sen being reset in the background. As he does take chase towards the top side, we have a 3-gen here, but a 4-gen on the bottom side, which are all open. Baggy is going to die on this pallet too. We see Sen just hovering around, playing for that save, as you would expect him to be, being a bit of a nuisance towards Crane. But, oh my god, there's another survivor here. Vane, oh my word, my apologies, is here and does get the pallet save. We're seeing more gameplay from these three of just running at the kill and having a bit of fun. In this case, Dan being forced to play generator jockey on the bottom side of the map. So, unfortunately for our survivors, the gen pressure is on the lower end because of this decision, but I'm not sure they're going to be all that stressed about it as Sen is able to get this pallet stun playing towards the 10 side now, having a few more resources to work with, but everyone's on this pallet. What am I seeing? I mean, Tavi, there's not a lot to really deconstruct about this. The survivors are just kind of running around together, and I mean, we've gotten, what is this, 2 downs now before a generator has procced, but we I mean, it's kind of just being a bit of a mess. I think there's a real chance like Crane could get a bit sluggy here and manage to secure a win just based off what we're doing. But no, Becky has rotated to the bottom side of the map to get reset. He is no longer playing on the top side. Sen with some lovely little moonwalks makes his next pallet, but will most likely be stuck here. But Crane does once again decide to walk right through it, eat the pallet, have a nice bit of wood slapped on his face. And Crane is getting a bit movementy. He will take the down onto Sen. Nu is obviously still slugged at 10, and the first pick of the trial coming in, the first generator having popped. What an unconventional start, Tavi.
Yeah, I think really any other team would have folded there. 2Savage just make it work. A bit of a lag there coming through, but yeah, I still don't really agree with what they're doing here. It's just I think too like a few miles over the top, but four gens they only need to pop 2 more to secure the win, and we do see Nu get reset in the background too. So they've kind of stabilized this pretty well. I think Crane is chasing. I was going to say chasing ghosts, but we do find Nu with the medkit who just reset and actually gets a very nice flare. So power stun away, plus 10 wood to the head. I think Mr. Dyer would say, and Crane is out of there after taking the wood from the pallet. And Sen goes for the little bit of the moonwalk. He is kinda jukey with it, and with the 10% speed, he's just gonna make it all the way to mid. I don't think there's anything that strong here though. Yeah, we can see TL matchsticks, and you have to try and W key away to the palace, but he's actually just gonna play the matchstick. So he's gonna go down as I guess was kind of expected without a pallet, but perhaps there's some kind of flashlight save coming in. No, the decisive strike will allow him to make the bottom of the map. So another gen does pop, and Sen is, yeah, he's running in the ideal location. I was going to say ideal location, but I think he goes down here, and he gets the stun from that. Oh my god! And Sen will make it all the way to the 9th tower. So, yeah, I guess they've just stabilized really well. We got some looping with friends coming on as Dan takes a bit of.
That
Okay.
crouch is criminal,
Okay.
Tavi. Oh my word, we will just be taking the tag onto Dan. We, once again, have just seen 3 survivors in the chase. Now, I mean, obviously, like, look, what I don't know what much we can say as Crane does eat another pallet from Sen. I mean, it's really hard to commentate games like this. Like, Chat, I'm gonna break this down less as a commentator, but more as an individual, because this game is really difficult to explain. You just have 3 people playing it like it's a pub game. Sen is just dropping every pallet in Crane's face. I think we've honestly depleted a lot of the resources on the map, and 3 generators have popped. We've just had 1 survivor on gens at all times, and I quite literally mean only 1. As Sen gets his 2nd hook of the game for 3 generators and a flashlight off of the hook. I mean, are we just going to save him in his face? We're not. Our flashlight survivor is just going to take the distance to bot mid, and this will be Dan. He may be getting tagged here. A lovely little S-flick around this almond tile without a pallet. So, you know, I mean, at this point, Tavi, we are at the tie condition. Crane would somehow need to 4K at this point if he does want to see Mastermind, which I don't think is going to be possible. Despite the start he did have, Sen does get unhooked in the background, and we can't afford to go back. We just need to hold these gens as tightly as possible, but I will point out as well, we do have this unbelievable 2-2 split for the generators, so holding these gens is going to prove unbelievably difficult for Crane. Tavi, the game is all but over, I must admit. The position that the survivors are in, despite the, to be blunt, it's quite unserious and a little disrespectful. I mean, it's just not mattered. It really just has not mattered.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of you know, I guess from the fits in the loading screen, we're already potentially expecting something like this. But yeah, as I was saying, like as I was saying before, based on the fits, yeah, 2Savage they really like playing chill. They really try and take advantage of that. And it seems to me as if you want to take a lesson away from this, as the viewer, I would say that think about if you're playing against weaker killers rather than the Blight. This kind of strategy, I think, is pretty suboptimal against the Blight. Only if you're extremely confident, which 2Savage are, would it work. But against weaker killers, such plays of altruism do not come at such a great cost. A lot of the time, you can see top scrimmages of lower tier killers like Doctor, Wraith, Pig, just like any of those killers that really rely on distance. When you play more altruistic, even Huntress actually, even Huntress now I think about it, because you can go Palisades against Huntress. Those kinds of killers really do struggle when there's like multiple survivors playing together. So I would say as a takeaway from this, it is pretty good to note the altruistic plays that are being made here. Like again, like news stealthing as well, Sen being in the open. A lot of the time you can abuse that against a spirit, kind of like mind game the killer into thinking there's only 1 survivor when there's actually 2. And then again, we can see. Okay, maybe I'm struggling to think of a scenario, but yeah, I mean that's just one of them. Altruistic plays really don't become as bad when it is a weaker killer with not as much movement, not as much lethality, etc.
Yeah, definitely, Tavi. I do think playing the way 2Savage has played, if they were able to be punished for it, could have cost them dearly, but unfortunately Crane wasn't able to capitalize. At the end of the day, he is playing against the best survivors OCE have to offer, so it does make it pretty difficult to capitalize upon gameplay alone. So there's no fault against him if he wasn't able to secure some more downs. At the end of the day, I think, you know, he's had to work with an unbelievably unorthodox scenario the entirety of this match, and these chases have been nothing but regular. So we do, oh no, my word, with the ping involved, that is incredible. I mean, for the record, that is like 150 to 180 ping between these survivors, and the fact that we managed to get a reversal on that is unbelievable. And another stun for Crane. We do dumb tech him as well. I mean, I don't know what
He's
else to
feeling
tell
it.
you, Tavi. They're just... Crane is being toyed with, and you hate to see it. You really do. If you're Crane or you're on the side of Nyx, this would be extremely discouraging, and you know it must not feel great to lose in this fashion. But unfortunately, that is, and we do unfortunately get auto aimed into the wall. But Dan will eventually take this tag. Its generator is also very close to proccing. We do see Dan holding the flashlight at the ground, trying to get his SB back, but to no avail. The gen will not be popping just yet. It will be procced with Eruption. Dan is on the ground. We will go to check it, but we're not going to the gen with the most progress. We're looking towards 2. We are going to find New over here eventually. We might actually not find him at all, Tavi. We don't have eyes on him just yet, but we are checking the gen. New has stealthed away just far enough to not be immediately noticeable. Crane not waiting for Eruption, not even getting pop on the gen, just dry kicking it as Dan is picked up by Becky in the background, and that gen all the way at bottom is still very, very high progress. And I mean, Tavi at this point, one of these gens is inevitably going to pop, I feel like. There isn't a lot of footing that Crane has in this match other than Dan being injured here, and without applying pop to one of these generators relatively soon, it could get dire. Dan is going to get swung through the pallet, though Becky is still here. He just has to... The unfortunate scenario now as well, as long as Becky Larson chases, generator will inevitably pop, because... I mean, he can't afford to leave this. He leaves this chase back, he's just going to get right back on that gen or pick Dan, and it will pop prop. It will pop. Words are very difficult. I apologize. But, I mean, the counterpoint to that is New is also going to pop his generator on the top side of the map, so we will be seeing a 4K0 one way or another. We may be even able to play for more. Becky does get the stun and will most likely get the pick onto Dan. He does, allowing these two to loop with friends for a little while longer. Dan is clicking his flashlight. Tavi, just what more is there to say?
I mean, they're feeling it. Like, Dan has some pretty nice jukes here on the 9 side as do see the final generator pop. Baki might think to pick up the torch, but no, the stay inside the black tech won't work. So I think we'll just be seeing Nu get this out with 9 stages. I do admit that 2Savage would have definitely done better. Sen, I don't think should have died as early, or I don't think Dan needed to sacrifice himself to try and keep Sen alive. But regardless, it is still a win coming for 2-7. Oh, actually, went back into the map to get the hook save here. So we could potentially be seeing something much less, because Dan is also very close to being picked up. So right now, it's only 4 stages on the block, and I assume Nu will try and make this less, but Dan does go back down. So likely that he will get hatched, I guess, if he's given the time, but Nu is giving him the time. Yeah, he's gonna stay around here. Not really a trade I think it's necessarily worth, but as long as they can get, I guess, 7 from this scenario, they should be happy. So Nu goes down, Baki's still in the map, and I think he's gonna go down here. So that looks to be the end of the standing up game, and we will have to now commence the potential slug race of the 2Savage survivors. So let's see. Dan is going to bleed out, but he's going to die first. So Crane gonna pick him up, hook him on 7. You have to find where Nu is. Back, he's actually recovering himself. He picks himself up with Unbreakable, so we had a bit of a cheater in this slug race. I don't like that. There's a bit of cheating going on, and he's just staying around here. So he's gonna accept the rules and go down. He's gonna be killed second, I believe. Nu's crawling around, and none of them will make it out. So yeah, Gorilla Scrims, a 9-stage turn into a 4K0, but again, still a win, and 2Savage will take the 2-0.
They will indeed, Tavi. That being the 2-0 to 2Savage will also be the end of our night. It has been a long one for me.